New York Giants, let's go defense. Ballin'. New York Giants, fly high, you know this.
Hi, and welcome to the Colorado G-Men Show. Today we're going to review the Giants-Panthers game and talk a little bit about the NFC East. The Giants were dealt a heart-wrenching loss in a 63-yard field goal in the closing seconds on Sunday. They were 6.5-point underdogs in Carolina and woulda, shoulda, coulda walked away with a win. The big story here is the players' reaction to the second straight week where the Giants have been stymied by some pretty awful, one-sided officiating. Did the officials determine the outcome of these games? We'll never know. One thing is for sure, it's hard to win when you're playing against the refs and another team. Since much attention is being drawn to the terrible calls by all media sources, I'm not going to get into it here. But remember last week's review, I did mention that the refs were a big part of the narrative of that game as well. The Giants outplayed the Panthers in almost all major categories except for rushing and time of possession. I have to draw attention now to the elephant in the room, the OBJ inexplicable play to hand the Panthers 7 points. He tried to throw a block to ensure the ball goes to the end zone for a touchback. During the block, he's unaware of where the ball is, which is inexcusable, and it hits him in the leg, rendering it a live ball. Jack Rabbit tries to scoop it, but immediately has it knocked out of his hands. Eli Apple kicks the ball into the end zone, and the Panthers fall onto it for the easiest touchdown they will ever get. So let's talk a little bit about the defense. We have to start with tackling. The Giants just couldn't get the Panthers down. I mean, I could recall at least 4 separate plays where Cam himself ran over a few defenders. The first touchdown of the game to push the score to 7-3 featured 4 missed tackles by Ogletree, Janoris Jenkins, B.W. Webb, and Landon Collins. We're not talking about third stringers. These are very important contributing players on our defense. The Giants started off the game on D with a 3-and-out and proceeded to allow the Panthers to score on each of the following 3 possessions to give the Panthers 20 points in the first half. Talk about the offense. I said to back off the third down efficiency, not completely whiff. The Giants were 0 for 7 on third down conversions. The first 3 possessions were unproductive as they yielded 3 points, a turnover on downs, and a 3-and-out. After that, on the 4th possession, a gadget play where Odell Beckham's running an end around. But wait, he cocked the ball back and threw it to Saquon Barkley, who was wide open for a 57-yard touchdown. His first touchdown of 2018 was a passing play. The Giants cannot run the damn ball at all. They don't even feign trying to balance the attack. Saquon has 15 carries. No other running back touched the ball. Contrast that with the 36 passing attempts by Eli plus the one from Odell Beckham. Since they'll call the QB sneak a rushing attempt, the passing percentage was 72%. The O-line played extremely well on pass blocking and abhorred on run blocking. The O-line gave up only 1 sack and 2 quarterback hits. With all that time, Eli looked great. Vintage Eli returned as the Giants were down 6 with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go, and he went to work on his fourth quarter magic. He engineered a 4-play, 75-yard drive as he went 4 for 4, capping it with a touchdown to Saquon to take the lead with 1:07 to go. As special as the offensive line was on pass plays, the run blocking was as bad as it could be. Take away the QB sneak and Saquon's 2 good rushes of 30 and 20 yards, and the Giants' rushing attack yielded -2 yards. Saquon was stopped in the backfield or for no gain on 8 of his 15 carries. 12 of his 15 carries were 2 yards or less. The 30-yarder was just an amazing spin move followed by a juke to get him past the line. The 20-yarder was the product of Barkley reversing field around the containment, not a lane paved for him by the offensive line. The next best run was a 6-yarder that Saquon just moved the pile. This play immediately preceded the 20-yarder. That means the remaining running plays by Saquon were 2 yards or less. While we're talking about Saquon, the effort he made on that should-have-been game-winning touchdown was spectacular. If you haven't seen it, watch the replay. The Giants gained over 30 points for the first time since the 2015 season. Unfortunately, this is just a footnote in a game where poor officiating and the game-winning 63-yard field goal take center stage. It's the first time in 37 games. Special teams continues to be a roller coaster. Obviously, the Odell Beckham gift-wrap touchdown was a huge part of the story. I've been jockeying Aldrick Rosas since the beginning of the season, and I'll give him credit for continuing to be perfect, hitting 3 for 3 on even a 53-yarder. But come on, man, you simply cannot kick the ball out of bounds on a kickoff. This comes on the heels of the Odell Beckham to Saquon gadget play that got the Giants finally on track and gained some momentum. It basically handed the Panthers a field goal. What I liked about this game, the grit. It shows me a lot that this team can come from behind and almost pull off a victory after absolutely the worst start you can imagine. I love watching Eli rip it down the field. Interceptions may come as a result, but it sure beats this conservative game plan management approach that McAdoo and Shermer have been doing so far. This signals Pat Shermer's willingness to embrace change. It is very uncomfortable to manage a game when you're head coach and offensive play caller. You're trying to protect the D while you're calling the offense. The job of an offensive play caller is to score, not worry about the defense. What still needs improvement? Pat Shermer seems to abandon the run game by the third drive. It was reestablished on the first touchdown drive. Saquon was able to slip over the top on that gadget play because the run was established there. I know we just discussed that the running game wasn't working, but they need to keep an eye on the balance. If they don't, defenses will dedicate more manpower to the pass, which means no over-the-top passes. With all the locker room talk and hot heads about refs, I'd like to see Pat Shermer turn that into passion for their humongous challenge, defending Super Bowl champs on Thursday night. Let's talk a little bit about the NFC East. Things aren't totally lost. The entire NFC lost this week, which means the Giants didn't lose any ground. They're still 1.5 games back from Washington, who got smacked down by the Saints on Monday night. They're 1 game back from the Cowboys and Eagles with Thursday night's game against the Eagles. This game is huge for the Giants season. I know 1-4 feels really bleak, but the Giants are within striking distance. We need to pile on a few wins. The best part is that we control our own destiny. The division is weak with a win percentage of 43% for the other 3 teams. Thank you everyone for watching the Colorado G-Men Show. We'll be at the Tavern in Platt Park in Denver, the Lazy Dog in Boulder, and the Good Company Bar in Colorado Springs. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Go Giants!